From Cichy Stadium in Fargo, North Dakota, good evening, everyone. I'm Andy Simon alongside Ben Osley as we get set for North Dakota high school football action as the Shanley Deacons prepare to take on the Grand Forks Central Knights. Football on Shanley TV is presented by the Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. We have an exciting game for you tonight. Stay tuned, and we will return shortly right after this message from our Deacon partners.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Beyond Boundaries Therapy Services, Border States Electric, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Luther Family Buick GMC, More Engineering, Network Center, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, St. Sophie's Psychiatric Center, Sanford Health, and Shields.
Welcome back to Shanley TV for our first broadcast of the football season for 2020. And I'm here alongside newcomer Ben Osley. And Ben, who do you think are the players to watch tonight on both sides of on both teams?
Well, if you're looking for an X factor for Grand Forks Central, look no further than quarterback Ty Lorenz. He had a brilliant game last week against Fargo Davies along with wide receiver Sam Strandell. They're going to look to replicate that performance tonight against Shanley's ferocious defense, led by Johnny Gores, who had a pick six last week, and Braden DeKaiser as well.
Yeah, I agree. We definitely have two strong forces on both offense and defense, really, for both of these teams. Like you mentioned earlier, Grand Forks coming off a tough loss to Davies last week as they battled very hard for that entire game, but came up about 2 touchdowns short. And on the other side, Shanley, who had a dominant performance against South last week, scoring, I believe, almost 45 points and just being very dominant on both sides of the ball. And another thing that is very different about this season is the lack of fans. And, Ben, do you think that was going to make any impact on the play for both teams tonight?
Well, having a limited fan attendance is definitely going to be tougher for the players, especially not having all their friends and family there. But I'm glad they're playing. I'm excited that they're playing, and it's going to be a really fun season.
I agree. I think we can all agree with that statement. And, yeah, I think it's going to be very different tonight with no student section, which was usually a big factor in kind of bringing up the team morale as they play the game tonight, especially against a good team like Grand Forks Central. But it'll definitely be interesting, and we'll just have to see how things play out, and we'll see if Shanley can continue their dominant play like from last week, and we'll see if Grand Forks Central can maybe make a few changes here and there to amp up their playing from last week. But regardless, we have a beautiful night here at Cichy Stadium, 73 degrees, I believe. Slight breeze of about 9 miles an hour from the north-northwest. 38% humidity. So pretty good weather for football tonight. A little warm, got a little breeze. Got a nice little shade here from the stands on the field. Hopefully no sun will be in the players' eyes tonight.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and going back to the whole less fans and just kind of that general idea of this whole coronavirus situation, do you think there's really anything that may be different in practices or just kind of in like the team gatherings or anything like that that could maybe change things? Hopefully not for the worse, but do you see any changes maybe happening from a lack of maybe being together or a lack of certain activities that they usually partake in?
Well, I have heard that they're not having any team meals this year. They're definitely disappointed about that. But I've also seen them wearing masks on the sideline and while they're waiting to get in on those scout team reps. So it's different, but, you know, like I said, they're definitely glad to be out there.
It's definitely different, as everyone worldwide will really have to adjust to this new type of normal, and it's definitely very tough for a football team to do that with how close, not just in play, but just in brotherhood that they are on and off the field. So we'll just have to see how things go. Hopefully we can maintain a good attitude, a good morale across the team as they'll face these new challenges that we've really never seen anywhere before. Yeah. Yeah. So as we get close to kickoff here, we see Grand Forks taking the field to appears to return the ball as Shanley will kick off. We know that's one thing that Shanley always likes to do is kick off at the beginning just so they can have their defense come out and kind of set the tone, and then hopefully after a quick 3-and-out have the offense come on and then keep the dominant attitude going.
Another thing that Shanley does really well is their special teams. They limit those kick returns. Emmett Kenny, big leg, lots of touchbacks.
Yeah, usually it was kind of surprising last week to see that. I believe it was a kick return for a touchdown last week. Last year we didn't see many of those plays at all. As you said, Shanley's always had a great special teams, and it's very uncommon to see a kick return for a touchdown. So the strong leg, Emmett Kenny, as you mentioned earlier, getting ready to kick this off, getting his knockout squad ready, as they like to call themselves.
All right, Deacon fans, everybody up for the kickoff.
As the wind is coming from the northwest, this might help Emmett Kenny a little bit. Maybe he can get a couple extra yards, as it is a great kick. Lands about middle of the end zone and will be returned. As never mind, it will be a touchback for Grand Forks.
Smart decision, gave himself up, bobbled the ball. Smart decision overall.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to. You want to be certain when you get the ball if you're going to return it, and that I agree with you. That was a good decision there to not take that one out. So Tyler Renz will lead this Grand Forks Central offense out onto the field for their opening drive. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers out on each side. And it will be handed off to Joseph Risky. Short gain, about 1 yard there.
Great job by the Deacon defensive line getting in there and stopping him for a minimal gain right there.
Yeah, that's one thing that Shanley's always had they've always seemed to have a great defensive line that doesn't allow a lot of leeway going on the inside runs there. So 2nd and 9 here for the Knights, as they will hand it off again to Joseph Risky. A gain of about 2 or 3 yards on that play. So while these first two plays haven't gone for any super special numbers, it is those short run plays that are really needed to help kind of grind down a defensive line and maybe open up opportunities for bigger run plays later. So 3rd and 4 here for the Knights. 2 receivers out on each side. Once again, shotgun. Lorenz will look back to pass, and that will be caught by, I believe, Ryan Meyer. And that will pick up the first down for the Knights. So 1st down and 10 here from about the 32-yard line for the Grand Forks Central Knights. This time with 3 receivers out to the right side. It will be handed off to Risky once again. And he is just swallowed up by a swarm of red. Short gain of about 2 yards on that play.
Seems like the Knights are trying to set something up for a big pass coming up soon.
So it will be 2nd and long for the Knights on this next play. Be interesting to see if they kind of continue that trend of inside runs or if they'll try to pass with those 3 receivers on the right side. And Lorenz will drop back to pass as he looks for Strandell. That will be caught. And Strandell will pick up the first down, bringing the ball to about the 44-yard line.
Good read by Lorenz. A comeback on the weaker side to Strandell. He's open. Good
yeah, it's
throw.
those nice quick pass plays that we see a lot of success with in high school football. And with a great receiver like Strandell, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot more of those plays tonight. So shotgun formation, doubles receivers. It will be handed off to Tyler Herbeck, and he will be stopped after about 1 yard. Gain of about 1 yard on that play. So 2nd and 9 coming up here for the Knights. And they will continue the double receivers on each side. Shotgun set for Lorenz here. And Lorenz will drop back to pass. He looks for Strandell, and that ball is picked off. That ball is picked off by Joey Ducard, it appears. Excellent play by the Deacon defense early. That Shanley secondary correction, that will be Isaac Emeneth on the interception. My mistake there. But the Shanley Deacons secondary continues to be a dominant force in this with an interception on the opening drive.
That was a great play by Emeneth, jumping the route. It looked like there were 2 receivers in the same area, and he took advantage.
And this play will be blown dead as a flag is thrown. And it will be a false start on the Deacons. So not exactly the start you're looking for if you're Shanley here, fresh off an interception. It'll be 1st and 15 now. But yeah, as you were saying earlier, there kind of seemed to be 2 receivers in the area on that pass play for the Knights. So not quite sure who that was intended for, but as you said, a great play by Isaac Emeneth to jump that and get the ball into the Deacons' hands. So Mattern at the shotgun here. He will hand it off to Kochman. Kochman making a few moves, getting to the outside a bit, getting past some defenders, and Kochman is on the run as he takes it inside the 10 and for the touchdown. The Shanley run game continues to be dominant in these first 2 weeks as Carter Kochman with a nearly 40-yard run there. It will be about a 45-yard run.
What a start for the Shanley Deacons. Great job by the offensive line getting a big hole on that left side, and then Kochman did the rest with all of those juke moves.
And that was one thing that was very common last year is seeing players like Carter Kochman, Carson Dean, or even Cooper Mattern with a big run to start the game out and kind of give some energy for the Shanley offense. So Kenny to attempt the PAT here, trying to make things 7-0. As that will be up, and it appears to be good. Score now 7-0. Shanley over Grand Forks Central with just under 9 minutes left in the first quarter. So far, Shanley's come out very explosive on both sides of the ball with a great play by Isaac Emeneth, as we were talking about earlier, and then another excellent play by Carter Kochman here. Always a dangerous runner for the Shanley offense.
And what I've noticed early is both lines for the Shanley offense and defense, they're both having their way with Grand Forks Central's.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Anthony Carlquist definitely doing a great job coaching up all those players. And Coach Vadnais. So Kenny getting ready to kick off once again. And Shanley started off exactly as you were talking earlier, making a nice stop, getting the interception on the opening drive for Grand Forks Central, and then just marching straight down the field. What was that? Only 2 play? Well, after the flag, only 1 play before they scored. So Shanley kind of showing their dominance early here.
All right, Deacon fans, everybody up for the kickoff.
So Grand Forks Central now back to receive the kick from Kenny. And the kick is up. A nice kick once again, as Grand Forks will let that go back through the back of the end zone.
Perfect placement by Kenny there, kicking it all the way to the back. That's really tough to return.
Yeah, another great job there by Emmett Kenny. The first one was more of a fielder's choice, you could say, for Grand Forks Central, but that, as you said, was a great kick to not allow any chance for return for the Knights. And Grand Forks will come out with 3 receivers on the left as Lorenz in the shotgun. They will run the option. He will pitch it out, and that will be, I believe, Joseph Risky once again. Short gain of about 4 on that.
Joseph Risky on the carry for the Knights.
Gain of about 5.
What I'm noticing early is Strandell is on the opposite side of the 3-receiver set. They're trying to get him isolated.
Yeah, that's definitely a player who probably will rise up to the occasion when he's isolated, as with his large frame, 6'2", 190, probably not too difficult for him to kind of get up and open up some better passing opportunities for Lorenz. So 3 receivers to the left again as Lorenz drops back to pass, and he looks for Strandell, trying to make a move, and that ball will be thrown slightly out of bounds. Strandell with a great effort to go up for it, but not quite there. So we see Grand Forks here kind of making a couple attempts to throw a little downfield, which is not too surprising here with the success that Lorenz and Strandell had last week against Davies. And it'll be 3rd and 4, as it appears the Deacons will jump off sides. As we await the official call from the ref here. And it will be encroachment on the Shanley Deacons. So that will gain the first down for the Knights here. And Grand Forks will come out with the 3 receivers to the left once again. Lorenz staying in the shotgun, as he has all night. And Lorenz will hand it off to, it appears, Risky, and Risky will just be swallowed up by the Deacons' defensive line. Always very strong, always showing their power. And that will be Braden Block, the senior captain for the Deacons, who will get the stop.
Yeah, Block with that big frame is having his way early on the central offensive line.
Yeah, definitely one of the players we expected to really be able to burst through that Knights offensive line, as Lorenz will look to pass, and that will be slightly behind Ryan Meyer.
Good read by Lorenz trying to get a chunk back, but just a little bit behind the receiver there.
Yeah, if he could have connected with Meyer there, that could have been a great play, as he was almost wide open running across the middle. So it is 3rd and 10 now for the Knights as they come out. 3 receivers to the left again. Shotgun formation for Lorenz. And Lorenz will roll out, looks to pass, and he will tuck the ball away and run it himself, and he has some room to run. He will pick up the first down and much more as he slides to about the 47-yard line in Deacon territory. Great play there by Lorenz to not quite see any openings and just decide to tuck the ball and try and pick it up himself.
Great play design there with the rollout to the left, getting the quarterback out of the pocket, and he's just able to make a play from there.
Yeah, rolling to the side of the 3 receivers where Lorenz almost had a wide open running lane to get to the left side. So it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Knights as they will run the option, and Lorenz will pitch out to Herbeck. Herbeck with a nice little gain there. 4 or 5 yards picked up on that play. And it'll be 2nd and 6 here for the Knights. About the 43-yard line in Deacon territory. Just about 6.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Shanley still up 7-0 as they will hand it off to, I believe that is Herbeck once again. And Herbeck will just be a couple yards shy of the first down, bringing up 3rd down for the Knights. And that'll be junior Nick Hodel who will make the tackle for the Deacons on Herbeck there. So 3rd and 1 here. 3 receivers out to the left. Lorenz in the shotgun. And Lorenz will hand it off to, I believe that is Herbeck once again. And it appears that they will pick up the first down. Waiting for an official ruling. And it will be a first down for the Grand Forks offense.
This is a good series for the Knights after that tough start to the game.
Yeah, nothing too explosive here, but as I was kind of talking about earlier, they're just kind of chipping away at Shanley's defensive line, trying to make run plays. As Lorenz will look to pass, but will tuck it and run it himself once again. And the ball appears to be loose. The refs might be saying he was on the ground. So there will be no fumble, and Grand Forks will retain possession. And a quick shout out here to Marissa Rain and her husband Josh and son Mason watching all the way from Forney, Texas. Thank you for watching. Another quick one to Todd Leifer from watching out from the parking lot. We apologize they can't be in here watching with us, but thank you for your support of Shanley TV. As Lorenz will fake the handoff and looks to pass. That will be dropped. Looking for Ryan Meyer once again. Meyer and Lorenz not quite being able to connect on any plays so far here tonight. We will see if they can make some changes and hopefully connect a little more going into the future. So that'll bring up 3rd and 3 here for Grand Forks Central. Just over 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Shanley still ahead 7-0. So doubles receivers with Lorenz in the shotgun. He will hand it off to Joseph Risky, and Risky will pick up the first down for the Knights here. Joseph Risky doing a great job of just powering through that Shanley defensive line and just trying to gain as many yards as possible. And Risky's a bit of a smaller guy in height, only 5'10", but 200 pounds. So like they always say, lowest man wins. So that's definitely a little bit of an advantage for him being lower to the ground but having all that force behind him. So 1st and 10 here from about the 26-yard line for the Knights. Trying to see if they can answer back to Shanley from that explosive play from Carter Kochman earlier. As Lorenz will look to pass, and he looks for Ryan Meyer, and he will connect with him, and Ryan Meyer will shake 2 tackles and will eventually be brought down within the 10-yard line. Great play there by Meyer to shake off the initial tackle, and then another one, and then just power through it to get 1st and goal for the Knights here.
Perfect throw by Lorenz there, throwing it into the gated community on the sideline. No cornerback's going to get that, and then Meyer just took it all the way inside the 10.
Yeah, those are always tough plays for the quarterbacks to make, to kind of try to throw it towards the sideline but keep it in bounds. But great job by both Lorenz and Meyer on that play. So 1st and goal here from the 9-yard line for the Knights. Time winding down on the play clock as they will hand it off to Tyler Herbeck. Herbeck with gain of about 1 or 2 on that play. Or it looks like he may have been stopped at the line there.
Expect Grand Forks to try to incorporate Strandell in some way, shape, or form. He had a lot of big red zone touchdowns last week.
And so far, Strandell has been somewhat quiet on this drive. And we'll see if they'll try to throw in his way in the end zone so he could use his size to maybe get over a Deacon defender. And they will hand it off to Tyler Herbeck once again. Herbeck trying to power his way as he will get it within the 5-yard line, it appears. Bringing up 3rd and goal. And we'll see here if they'll try to kind of pound their way through maybe with the run game as they've been so reliant on so far. But they do have 3 receivers to the right, and I believe that is Strandell isolated on the left. And they will run the option, and Lorenz will be stopped shy of the goal line, bringing up 4th down and goal.
Good read right there by Lorenz. The running back was taken out, and he took the lane. Not quite there, though.
Yeah, not completely there, but still a great read by him to see if he can get up the middle for the touchdown. And it appears that Grand Forks will go for it on this 4th and goal with Lorenz still out on the field. As the play will be blown. Not sure if a timeout was, or it'll be a false start on the Grand Forks offense. We'll see if that'll change their mind for going for it here.
That's a crushing penalty for Grand Forks.
Yeah, 3 yards away from the end zone, and on 4th down getting the false start, that is always tough for an offense. And we'll see if they will elect to kick or will just stay with the original plan of going for it. And it looks like they will continue to go for it. They will go for it on 4th and goal. Lorenz drops back to pass. He will roll out to the left. Does not quite see anyone. Tries to flip one to Strandell, but that will fall incomplete and will go down as a Deacons stop in the red zone.
There's a flag down.
There is a flag down on the play.
I believe there was a hold, though, so this will get declined.
Yeah, as we see on the replay there, just pops out of the hands of Strandell there. And that penalty will be declined, and it will be Deacon 1st down deep within their own territory.
I like the call. Aggressiveness. You know, you're in a hostile environment on the road, and you could probably consider them an underdog. I like the call.
Yeah, and I agree. As we were kind of touching on earlier, Strandell just kind of being one of their more reliable players for the Grand Forks offense. I agree with the call of trying to toss one to him late in the game, or late in the drive.
Looks like they're running the spread here.
Yeah, lots of receivers spread out here as they will put one in motion. Mattern will fake the toss and looks to pass, avoids one defender, and he will try to toss one out to Aiden Devine, and Devine will make the grab.
Penalty flag.
And there will be another penalty on the play.
Great throw by Cooper, though.
Yeah, great job by Madden there to avoid the defender at the beginning and try to stand tall in the pocket, but then have to scramble out a little bit. And then, yeah, find Devine there on that throw and will be a personal foul on the Knights, giving the Deacons a little more yardage. So 1st and 10 for Shanley here from about the 30.5-yard line. And the Deacons will come out with doubles receivers. Mattern joined alongside by, I believe that is Aiden Devine in the backfield. Mattern looks to pass. He will throw one out. And as he will connect with Kochman, and Kochman will try to fight forward, but will be stopped by the Grand Forks Central defenders. Brings it out a little past the 35. So that'll bring up 2nd and 5 for the Deacons here. Just under 2 minutes here in the first quarter. Shanley still leading 7-0. It is 2nd and 5. Mattern joined by Devine and Kochman in the backfield. As Mattern will hand it off. He will fake the handoff to Kochman and keep it for himself. Dodges a couple defenders. And will only gain 1, maybe 2 yards on that play. As the ball will now be placed at about roughly the 38-yard line. And it will be 3rd and 3 here for the Deacons. Not quite as explosive as the last drive, as that one ended with only 1 play. And just under a minute here in the first quarter. Mattern will just keep the ball for himself. Tries to get to the outside, but will be stopped by the defensive ends on Grand Forks Central. That will be, I believe, Torgerson on the stop. So it will bring up 4th down for the Deacons offense.
This is a huge stop for Grand Forks Central. Let's see if the Deacons decide to go for it here.
Yeah, Mattern's still out on the field for the Deacons, as it is only 4th and 2. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. 2 receivers out to the right end, 1 to the left for Shanley. And a timeout will be taken by the Deacons here. So both Grand Forks Central and Shanley with only 2 timeouts here remaining in the first half. And an interesting decision here from Mattern is still in their own territory, 4th and 2. This could be potentially a big moment in the first half here if Shanley could continue the drive and maybe even score a touchdown. And 2 yards for Shanley doesn't seem like too much of a task with the runners they've got. Talking about Carter Kochman, Aiden Devine, Johnny Gores even, Carson Dean. They got quite the arsenal of backs there, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try to run one up the middle here, maybe bounce it outside.
They've got a lot of playmakers, but I wouldn't jump to it quite yet. We'll see what Mattern decides.
We'll see. Coach Troy Mattern kind of known as being a little more gung-ho on the offensive side.
It looks like the offense is still on.
Offense will stay out there, it appears, as Cooper Mattern will stay out on the field.
Expect a power run or either maybe a quick pass in there too.
And a quick shout out to former Shanley defensive coordinator Steve Huber, watching all the way from Arizona. Thank you for your continued support of the Shanley football program. So Mattern here joined by Devine and Kochman in the backfield. One receiver on each side as they will hand it to Kochman up the middle, and he appears to be stopped right away by the Knights' defensive line. Huge stop there for Grand Forks Central.
Great play by the defensive line for them to get inside and just get that pursuit to stop Kochman for a loss.
Yeah, that's kind of one thing you really need to do when you're trying to defend Carter Kochman is get as many bodies to him as possible, because if you try to match him up with only 1 or maybe even 2 defenders, he could likely shake his way out of that.
In this game, field position is going to be key.
So 1st and 10 here as Grand Forks will run the option. Lorenz will pitch it out to Joseph Risky, and Risky will pick up a nice gain of yardage there as he stays on his feet and gets within the 15-yard line for the Knights. Great power running there by Joseph Risky.
Good power running by Risky there, getting to the outside and breaking a couple tackles.
Yeah, that's kind of been Risky's main contribution to the Knights offense here, is he just does not seem to go down and will just stay on his feet and keep pounding forward for those nice gains. So 1st and 10 here from the 11-yard line for the Grand Forks Central Knights as a timeout will be taken.
Quarter break.
Or, excuse me, that will be the end of the quarter. So we'll flip sides here.
An entertaining first quarter, very physical game so far.
Yeah, the run game has been huge for both teams here as we see on the replay here. Joseph Risky just pounding his way through those Deacon defenders. So now Grand Forks Central looking like a lot more of a threat than they did earlier in the game, as they came out and threw an interception on the opening drive and then gave up a touchdown to the great Carter Kochman. But now they're kind of inching their way into the Shanley's heads, I almost think, as the morale seems to be getting a little lower for Shanley and the energy keeps going up for Grand Forks Central. Another shout out here to Lynn Swenson. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for continually watching Shanley TV. And if anyone else would like a shout out, just remember to tweet at us at Shanley TV and we'll try to get you up there. So it will be 1st and 10 here from the 11 for Grand Forks Central. 3 receivers out to the left as Lorenz will look to pass, and you will look for Strandell, and Strandell will make the grab, but will be stopped right away by the Deacon secondary.
Nice catch, but great defense by the Deacons swarming around him right away.
Yeah, with Strandell, you're not going to want to let him get any opportunity to kind of weasel his way past any of the defenders. So great job there by Shanley to really gang up on him and make the stop. So that will take it to about the 8-yard line here for Shanley, or excuse me, for Grand Forks Central in Shanley territory. As we'll have 3 receivers out to the left again as Lorenz looks to pass. He looks for Strandell. Looks for a little pump and go as that ball will not be caught. Looked like it was about to get intercepted for a second there by the Shanley secondaries. It got bobbled up a little bit. Bringing up 3rd and goal here for Grand Forks, as we'll see if they continue with that passing strategy on this little section of the drive.
It looks like Shanley's defense is really tightening their grip in the red zone.
I agree with that. Their secondary is looking very tight as they're playing man coverage very close to the receivers, excuse me. As it is 3rd and goal here. Same formation with 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Lorenz will roll out. He will run the option. He'll toss out to Herbeck. Herbeck trying to make his way through the Shanley defense, but he will be swallowed up around the 5 or 6 yard line. As that'll bring up 4th and goal for Grand Forks Central.
Similar situation to their last drive. We'll see what they do here.
Yeah, we saw the last drive end with kind of a last-ditch effort to try to throw it up to Sam Strandell as that fell incomplete. See if they try anything similar to that. And a timeout will be taken by the Knights here. They will have 1 remaining in this half. Another shout out to former player and now coach Annie Swenson from watching from her living room. Thank you as well for the continued support of Shanley TV. We always love to hear people tuning in certainly much different ways.
It's a really good timeout here for Grand Forks. Really important play to talk over.
Yeah, this is a big little moment here for Grand Forks in the first half to see if they can tie it up with Shanley or kind of keep the momentum in Shanley's favor. So both teams getting ready to get back on the field here for this potential last play of the drive. And Shanley appears ready to start as they just wait on the Grand Forks offense. And another shout out to Coach Brock for watching from South Dakota tonight. Thank you once again for your support and for the voice of your support to our Shanley Twitter, or Shanley TV Twitter. And Grand Forks Central takes the field on 4th and goal here. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right, as they will run the ball out to the right as they will be stopped by the Shanley defense. Great open field tackle there. And that will be Johnny Gores on the stop for the Deacons, who had a phenomenal game last week with 3 touchdowns. Yeah, Johnny Gores making sure that is Ben Anderson not getting past him on that play. So Shanley will take over once again deep in their own territory from the 3 yard line. And Shanley will now come out with 3 receivers to the right. As Mattern will hand it off to Devine. Devine will power his way through a couple defenders. Nice little run there. Taking it out past the 10 yard line. He will pick up the first down for the Deacons. This ball will be placed on the 12 yard line.
You know, Devine's not the biggest guy in the world, but he's a really powerful runner, and he's a really
correction,
good back.
It will be 2nd and 1 here for Shanley as they fell 1 yard short on that last play. But yeah, like you're saying, Devine, great runner, great little power runner on the Deacon side there. As Mattern will throw a screen out to Kochman, and Kochman once again taken off, getting chased by the defenders of Grand Forks Central, but they will not catch him. And Carter Kochman with his 2nd touchdown of the night, another long one.
Brilliant play by Carter Kochman. You're going to see on the replay, slight little hesitation move, juke to the outside, and then boom, already has the corner.
Yeah, and he was pursued very well by Jack Erlacher, but he just came a little short of Kochman. Very hard to catch that one. Carter Kochman always known for being a very quick guy on the field. As Kenny will try to extend the lead to 14 after this PAT. And the kick is up, and that will be good as well. Score now, Shanley Deacons 14, Grand Forks Central 0. Just under 10 minutes left in the first half here. And we see the continued trend of the explosive plays from Shanley's repeat offenders of playmaking. Carter Copeland there once again with a huge play.
Shanley's got all these weapons, and if you can just isolate them on the outside, they'll be able to make big plays.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't take much for Carter Copeland to find his way to a little opening to make a huge play, as we've seen for these last 2, almost 3 years. So Emmett Kenny getting ready to kick it away for the 3rd time here tonight. And Grand Forks Central coming out to return. So we'll see if Kenny could get another touchback for the Deacons kickoff squad.
All right, Deacon fans, everybody up for the kickoff.
Not much breeze here anymore tonight, as that would have affected Kenny here, but it has definitely died down. And Kenny with the kick, another long one. And Grand Forks will let that one go through the back of the end zone for another touchback.
Again, a great kick by Kenny into the end zone over by the Shanley students behind the fence as well.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to kind of give both your kickoff squad and your defense a little bit of a break there, as you don't make the kickoff work as hard and you give a little better position for the defense to work with. So Grand Forks now coming out from the 20, from their own 20. They will have 2 receivers on either side, as Lorenz will hand it off. That appears to be risky once again. And he will get a gain of about 2 yards on that play.
This is a big possession for the Knights. They need to cash in here.
Yeah, they definitely got to put at least something up on the board before the second half and before Shanley gets the ball to start off the 3rd quarter. So it'll be 2nd and 9 here for the Knights offense. As they will come out with 3 receivers on the right side. Lorenz joined by Risky in the backfield. And Lorenz will throw a quick pass out to Bryce Philpott. And that will be a short gain of 3 yards. Both Isaac Emeneth and John Gores, 2 juniors who have made some waves in the Shanley defense so far this year.
Yeah, that was a great stop right there for Gores and Emeneth to shed that block and get him onto the outside.
And another shout out here to Riley Payne and Coach Payne for tuning into tonight's game. 2 big names for Shanley's girls basketball program. As on 3rd down and 4, Joseph Risky with the ball, maybe fumbled it. We'll see the ruling from the refs. And they will say it was recovered by Shanley. So a big play for the Shanley defense here to get the ball back deep within Grand Forks Central zone territory. And they'll get it from the 26-yard line.
Aiden Devine ripped it away from Risky there. Great play.
Another junior making big plays for the Deacon defense. And another shout out to former Shanley TV announcer Braden Altringer tuning in from Fargo tonight. Always glad to hear from our Shanley TV alum. As it will be 1st and 10 here from the 26 for the Deacon offense. 3 receivers out to the left. As Mattern will drop back to pass. He looks for a dump pass to Devine. Devine with some open space. Devine getting out past the
Touchdown.
10 into the end zone for the 3rd Deacon touchdown to the Knights. Shanley just still piling on this Grand Forks defense with those big explosive plays.
Perfect throw by Madden, right in stride to Devine, and then nobody really there until the
Yeah,
very
barely
end.
touched Devine on the way to the end zone. Score now 20-0 in favor of Shanley over Grand Forks Central. Emmett Kenny trying to extend that by 1 point. And the kick is up, and it appears to be good. Score now 21-0, Fargo Shanley over Grand Forks Central. So this next drive for Grand Forks Central will be huge, as it'll determine whether they go into halftime with any points on the board or still trailing Shanley by 21. Just over 8.5 minutes left in the first half.
You know, football's a big momentum game. You know, anything could change it, but they need a big play to just get it back towards them in their favor.
Yeah, like you were saying, energy is a huge factor in the game of football, and right now it appears all the energy is on Shanley's side, so we'll see if Grand Forks Central can maybe tip the scale a little bit and get some for their own. As Kenny comes out to kick for the 4th time tonight. 3 out of those 4 being touchbacks for the Deacons. And Grand Forks Central getting ready to receive here. And Shanley appears to have all their players for the kickoff squad.
All right, Deacon fans, everybody up for the kickoff.
So Kenny to kick it away here for the Shanley Deacons. And that kick is up. Good distance on that, as Grand Forks will let that one go back into the end zone for the 4th touchback tonight. Or is that the 3rd touchback? I don't know. Emmett Kenny's good at getting touchbacks. That's all we know. Another shout out here to Michael Cross, tuning in from Elk River, Minnesota. Thank you for tuning in once again, and anyone else who would like another shout out, please tweet us at Shanley TV. So Grand Forks Central here, starting from the 20-yard line, as Lorenz will hand it off to, I believe, Herbeck. And it appears that he will be stopped at the line of scrimmage. That Deacon defensive line remaining dominant, not letting anything through them. So that would bring up 2nd and 10 for the for the Knights.
A little bit of a power formation there, but the Deacons are doing a really good job of stopping them.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for Grand Forks Central, as their running game so far earlier has been kind of their main factor, their offense. So with Shanley bearing down on that, they'll have to elect to go for more passes, as Lorenz will pass one off there to, I believe that was Strandell. Strandell with a gain enough for a first down there, as it will be 1st and 10 for the Knights from the 30-yard line. And right on cue, as we were saying it, we were saying how they kind of had to maybe shift away from the run game as Shanley was starting to bear down on it a little more, and a nice pickup there for the Knights with their pass game. And the Knights will have 3 receivers split out to the right, as Lorenz will roll out to pass, and he looks and will connect with Ryan Meyer, and Meyer will pick up the first down for the Knights.
Pass complete to Ryan Meyer.
Good play by Lorenz. It almost looked like he did a little bit of a fake out with where he was looking. Looking to his right and then throwing it right down the middle.
Yeah, it did pay off, as it will be 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line for the Knights. 2 receivers on each side for the Knights. And Lorenz joined by, it appears, Risky in the backfield. Lorenz will look to pass. He looks for Strandell. Strandell trying to fight his way to the ball, but will not get there. Ball landed about the 20-yard line, still inbounds. But great coverage there by, it looks like Johnny Gores on Lorenz. Or excuse me, on Strandell.
It's perfect coverage. Johnny forcing him to the outside towards the sideline. And then I think it was Emineth came over bearing down there at the very end.
Yeah, it's always nice to see for the Shanley defense to have some juniors who are stepping up and showing that they can make plays, kind of giving Shanley hope for next year that they'll be in good hands in terms of their secondary. So 3 receivers to the left here for the Knights, as it'll be a fake handoff, and Lorenz will roll out. Nice little pass to Ben Anderson as he'll try to get around a couple defenders. Forward progress will get him past the 50-yard line, so they are now in Deacon territory. But it will be 3rd down and 5 or 6. It'll be 3rd and 6 here from the Deacons' 49-yard line.
And at this point, you're down 21. Expect them to go for it.
Yeah, they might need a big play here with time winding down, getting close. Under 7 minutes left in the first half. And only 1 timeout for Grand Forks Central left. They will come out with doubles receivers, and Lorenz will look to pass. Pocket closing quickly. He rolls to his left, and that ball will be up and will be incomplete. Looking for Braden Williams. Tight coverage there. Looked like Aiden Devine on the coverage. That will bring up 4th and 6 here for the Knights offense.
Good throw, but even better coverage there.
Yeah, that was a good throw by Lorenz there as he had to lead him a little bit. But, yeah, Braden Williams just not quite able to get there.
And it looks like they are.
Yeah,
maybe
Lorenz still out on the field. Looks like they...
Looks like they're looking to punt
maybe a little
here.
confusion here as they will punt. Looks like Carson Dean back to return for the Deacons. And a timeout taken. That will be Grand Forks Central's last timeout of the half. Another quick shout out here to Shanley alum Chuck Knutson for tuning in from Mansfield, Texas. So we got 2 groups of people watching from Texas tonight. Did not expect to read that. But just good to see support basically all over the country here for Shanley TV. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, just a quick little plug here, folks. Don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media, get the latest updates about Shanley sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts. Like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV, and follow us on Twitter at ShanleyTV. And now you can follow us on Instagram even at ShanleyTV. So try to reach us in any way you can for maybe a little shout out and get on the broadcast here. As Grand Forks Central will stay with the plan to punt. Carson Dean back to receive for the Deacons. So on 4th and 6 as the Knights punt. It is up. Carson Dean having to get back a bit. He will let that ball roll as it will not take the best bounce for the Deacons and will be downed at, it appears, the 1-yard line. So great punt coverage there for the Grand Forks Central Knights as they will pin the Deacons deep in their own territory.
Wow, what a punt.
Great bounce
the ball
there.
At the beginning, and it bounced at the 1 and then stayed at the 2. What a punt.
Yeah, so it will be from the 2-yard line as the Deacons will set up shop on offense here. Just over 6 minutes left in this first half. Shanley leading the Knights 21-0. And Shanley with 2 timeouts left in Grand Forks Central without any. As that will be Johnny Gore's in motion, getting the ball on the jet sweep. He will try to bounce to the outside. He'll get past a few defenders and pick up the first down for Shanley. Great play to get him out of their own deep territory there. As it will be 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line for the Deacons here.
That was a really good tackle because it saved a pretty big play that was coming up.
Yeah, that was a good wrap up there by the Grand Forks Central defender to stop Johnny Gores, the ever-dangerous runner. So 1st and 10 here, 3 receivers to the right, and that will be Copeland in motion as Cooper Mattern will roll out. He looks to pass deep. He finds a wide-open Braden DeKaiser. Ball a little bit off target as DeKaiser is not able to haul that one in. And another shout out to Andrew Strinnen in the Hofer family for watching from Big McDonald Lake. So we even got people from Lakes Country tuning into Shanley TV. Always great to hear. And it will be 2nd and 10 here for the Deacons from their own 19-yard line.
Good throw by Cooper on that last play. It looked like he set his feet at the last moment, but he was moving. Good play.
Yeah, that could have been a huge play if they were able to connect. As the Deacons will have 2 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Mattern will hand it off to Devine. And Devine will be swallowed up almost immediately for a gain of about 1 yard there. So it'll be about 3rd and 9 for the Deacons here from their own 20-yard line. Just under 5.5 minutes left here in this first half. And Shanley still with 2 timeouts left. And Shanley will come out with 3 receivers wide to the right. Braden DeKaiser isolated to the left. And Mattern will roll right, looking to pass. Being pursued by some Grand Forks defenders, and he will be swallowed up and taken down for the sack. Got him down at roughly the 11 or 12-yard line. So a big play there for Grand Forks Central. Maybe can set up a nice little drive here with just over 4.5 minutes left in the first half. And it will be 4th down and very long for the Deacons, as it appears they will stay out on the field and go for it here. 3-by-1 wide receiver set, as Mattern will punt it himself. And they will let that roll for a nice distance, about the 41-yard line. Cooper Mattern looking almost like Tom Brady out there with that nice little QB punt, getting him back into Grand Forks' own territory.
I like it. A little bit of a knuckleball off the foot, but
Yep.
got a nice roll to it.
But regardless, a nice positioning for the Shanley defense here. Still pretty good field position for the Grand Forks Central offense. And another shout out here to Francis and Barb Lyer from watching from Lake Lida. Some more family watching out from Lakes Country. If anyone else watching from Lakes Country would like a shout out, just reach out at us at Shanley TV on social media, as that will be a little dump off pass to Herbeck, I believe, and Herbeck will take it for a nice distance here, taking it all the way to about the 27-yard line of the Shanley Deacons. And there we see again a nice little kind of surprising play from the Grand Forks Central run game, as they get a nice gain of roughly 27 yards there.
Nice little screen pass there from Lorenz to Herbeck.
Yeah, Herbeck and Joseph Risky, those two have been probably the 2 main contributors for this Grand Forks Central offense, as they've both had a couple of those nice 25 to 30-yard plays for big gains. So they will hand it off once again to Herbeck. Herbeck with a gain of 4 or 5 yards on that play.
Pretty good run by Herbeck there. It looked like he received the ball over by his elbow. Lucky he didn't lose it.
And he was able to, he did a great job of carrying his momentum forward on that one. So we'll bring up 2nd and 6 here for the Grand Forks offense. And another shout out to Mrs. Sherry Simon and Mrs. Trainer watching it from Grace Lake, Minnesota. 3rd family from Lakes Country here. And it will be 2nd and 6 here as Lorenz looks to pass. He looks for Sam Strandell, a little over his head there. Tight coverage by the Deacon secondary. Bring up 3rd and 6 for the Grand Forks Central Knights. And Aiden Devine, once again, another junior on the Shanley defense making plays.
And this is the area of the field where the Knights have had a little bit of trouble moving the ball.
Yeah, I agree. The Knights, it appears they've had a lot of success getting the ball forward, but once they get into the red zone, or near the red zone, they kind of have a little struggle with either running the ball or trying to get passes. As Lorenz will fake the handoff and rolls right, looking to pass. He does not see anyone and tucks the ball, as he will be taken down by, it looks like, Hunter Hannison. And it looks like he lost the ball, and it will be recovered by the Shanley Deacons. So the third turnover here caused by the Shanley defense.
Yeah, there was nothing really there, so he decided to take it, but it looked at the last moment. Number 8, Meyer, broke free at the last second.
Looks like Braden Block was able to get on the ball after Hunter Hannison took him down by the legs. And another shout out to Samuel Breen watching from Bismarck, North Dakota. One of the few times we've actually heard it from North Dakota tonight. If there are any other North Dakota residents watching the game, feel free to reach out to us via social media. As Madden will throw a nice little screen to Aiden Devine. Devine with a nice one-handed grab there. He will be taken down past the 25, but a flag is thrown.
Great snag by Devine, one-handed catch in stride.
Yeah, nice little over-the-shoulder one-handed snag there in stride, as you mentioned. And we'll see what the call is here from the refs. And the flag will be picked up, so no foul on the play. As Shanley will have second down and about 3 or 4 yards from it looks like the 28-29 yard line. So 2nd and 3 here for the Deacons, as they will have 2 receivers on either side. Mattern will fake the handoff and take it himself, trying to juke past the defender, and he will be successful, picking up the first down, taking the ball to the 37-yard line. Great run there by Mattern. And that's a trend that we've seen both this year and a lot last year, is Mattern taking the ball for himself and almost taking on the role of a running back. He doesn't really like to slide. He kind of likes to absorb a little contact and just try to fight through whatever he can.
Yeah, he's a great power runner, and he's got some special moves in there as well with the hesitation.
He's definitely able to throw in even a little juke here and there to get past a couple defenders. As Kochman will come in motion, Mattern will fake the jet and keep it for himself once again. Mattern getting up the middle, and he will pick up another first down for the Deacons here, getting the ball into Grand Forks' own territory. And we have a Shanley player down, Mattern down, but he gets right back up. Hopefully nothing too bad that Mattern can't handle, as Mattern appears to be okay. So 1st and 10 here from the 47 of the Grand Forks Central Knights. Deacons still in possession with 2 timeouts left and just under 2 minutes left in the first half. So 3 receivers to the right. Mattern will look to pass for a nice little, and he looks for Kochman, but that ball will be dropped.
Looked like a similar play to the one that he took to the house.
Yeah, unfortunate that Kochman couldn't haul that one in. Pass maybe a little low, but still definitely catchable. And that'll be 2nd and 10 here for the Deacons, still on the Grand Forks Central 47-yard line. 1:41 left in the first half. Shanley not appearing to be in any type of rush here, up 21-0. As Mattern will hand it off to Aiden Devine. Devine will shake off one defender and stay on his feet. He will keep going until he is swallowed up by 4 Grand Forks Central defenders.
Aiden Devine on the carry for the Deacons.
Great playmaking ability there by Devine. Breaking the tackle right as he touched it and being able to take it for the first down.
Yeah, and we see that Shanley offensive, that running back arsenal just making their presence known. As Mattern will look for another pass out here. Looking for Johnny Gores. Johnny Gores will get it, and he will take off. Trying to hop over a defender a little bit there. But he will take it inside the 15-yard line. There you see yet again another junior making plays for Shanley. Another shout out to Joel Schleider here, enjoying the game from Grand Forks, cheering for the Knights, and also for his nephew Joey Ducard of the Shanley Deacons. So a little conflict in that household, as Kochman will get this pass. He will take it inside the 10-yard line, about the 2-yard line. 1st and goal here for the Deacons. Just over a minute left in the first half.
Little no huddle here.
Deacons trying to get a playoff quick here. 2 receivers on either side, as Mattern is joined by Devine in the backfield. And Mattern will hand it off to Devine, and Devine will be swallowed up immediately by the Grand Forks Central defensive line. And that will be Torgerson on the stop for the Knights. 55 seconds and counting here in the first half. Shanley will huddle up this time before the play.
Deacons got 2 timeouts, so they can take all the time they need.
That is true. They do have 2 timeouts left here for these last 40 seconds. As Mattern will be joined by both Devine and Dean in the backfield. He will fake the handoff to Dean and take it himself, and he will take it into the end zone for the 4th Deacon touchdown tonight with 27 seconds left in this first half. And there, as we saw earlier, Cooper Mattern can take the ball for himself and get through a little contact. And Emmett Kenny will come out onto the field to try to extend the lead to 28 here. 27 seconds left in the half. And yeah, Shanley didn't even need to use those 2 timeouts as they were just able to quickly get a play up the middle and in the end zone. And the kick is up, and it appears to be good. Score now, Shanley Deacons 28, Grand Forks Central Knights 0. So we'll see the 5th kick tonight here from Emmett Kenny. I believe the last 3 were touchbacks. See if he can continue that trend. And there we see on the replay there. The very common play as Mattern really likes to get those passes out to Carter Kochman, as he is always able to make at least a little bit of a play.
Yeah, a quick little speed out there to set up the run for the touchdown.
Another shout out here to Aiden Nordlith, who would like to send a shout out and happy belated birthday to Grand Forks Central alum Jackson Lorenz. Good to see support from broadcasters on both sides of the field tonight from Shanley and Grand Forks Central. So Kenny getting ready to kick for the 5th time tonight. Just under 30 seconds left in the half. Shanley leading 28-0. And Kenny's kick is up. A little bit lower, but still has some distance, as that will roll to the back of the end zone and get the touchback once again for the Deacons. And the Grand Forks Central Knights will set up shop at their own 20-yard line with just 27 seconds left. And we're likely to see here that Grand Forks Central will just try to run off some time here, as they will set up for a QB kneel here. And Lorenz will kneel it. So have to run off one more play before the end of the half. Or excuse me, that should be the end of the first half. So that will do it for the first half here, as Shanley leads 28-0 over the Grand Forks Central Knights. Ben, what are some of the takeaways you've seen so far here in this first half?
Well, the Deacons got off to a brilliant start with the interception by Emineth and then the Kochman touchdown. Grand Forks just couldn't score in the red zone. They had a lot of trouble, but they were moving the ball a little bit.
Yeah, we did see Grand Forks have a little bit of a problem there in the red zone for the most of the first half. Another shout out here to Landon, who's hosting a watch party for Shanley TV. Thank you for gathering a lot of people to watch. Hopefully social distancing, of course. And another shout out to Tom and Tracy Frey, who are cheering for the Deacons, and godson Emmett from Pelican Lakes. So another family from the Lakes country watching us. Thank you for your continued support of Shanley TV. And don't go anywhere, folks, as we will be back in just a few minutes here for the second half of this exciting North Dakota high school football action. And welcome back, folks, to the second half of Shanley football here against Grand Forks Central. And before we start here, we have a quick ad for the SAC. Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathleticclub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you are not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. And we are back here once again. I am Andy Simon, joined alongside Ben Osley, a newcomer for Shanley TV, doing a great job so far tonight. And Ben, what are some things that both these teams need to maybe change or not change at all to see more success in this half?
Well, for Grand Forks Central, they're going to need to score in the red zone. They've gotten there a couple times, and their drives have stalled from there. And for Shanley, they just got to keep the pedal to the metal, drive them.
I agree. And there's not much Shanley has to change right now. Maybe just keep up energy, but I agree with you there. Grand Forks Central has done a great job of getting the ball down the field, but they just kind of lose control once they get into the red zone and aren't able to put it in the end zone. So Grand Forks Central to kick off for the first time tonight. Shanley leading 28-0 going into this half, as that will be Wyatt Peterson to kick off for the Knights, as it will be kind of a squib, and it will just be fouled on by the Shanley Deacons.
Interesting kick there by the kicker. Little squib kick. Those are really hard to field, so good decision to fall on it.
And that will be junior Bennett Bird falling on that kick. And the Deacons will set up shop at about their own 34-yard line. And some more shout-outs here. Shout-out to teacher Josie Breen from watching from across town and looking for some teacher brownie points. Unfortunately, neither me or Ben are in her class, so we can't gain any brownie points for that, unfortunately. And another shout-out to the Manuals for watching. Another Shanley family. Thank you for your support of Shanley TV. As the Deacons I believe they'll pass it out on the first play of the half. And is this Carson Dean? I believe. Braden DeKaiser on the reception, and the huge run, as we see on the replay here. Madden faking the jet, and the quick little pass out to DeKaiser. And DeKaiser just basically a red carpet walk to the end zone, not even touched. As that play will be taken back on a hold here against the Deacons.
It was a great play. He split the defense, took the red carpet, like you said, and he took it all the way to the house.
Yeah, it's never fun to see a big, explosive play like that taken back by a penalty. But that is good for Grand Forks Central, as they definitely don't want to give the Deacons any more momentum early in this half, as the Knights are still down 28-0. Really needing to make an impact on the offensive side here. So it will be first and 13 here for the Deacons, as they will line up with 3 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. Mattern alone in the backfield, as that play will be blown dead. False start on the Deacons here, so back-to-back penalties on the Deacons. Not a good start for their offense. Kind of taking away some of the energy that DeKaiser brought with that huge play. So, yeah, 14 seconds into this half, and the Deacons already have 2 penalties. And it will be first and 17 now from about the 26, 27-yard line. DeKaiser will go in motion, and he will get the jet sweep. Excuse me, that's Copeland with the jet sweep. And he will get to the outside, get past a couple defenders. And he will get a nice gain there.
Great play to get Carter Kochman on the outside there.
Yeah, Carter Copeland's another one of those very explosive players who, like we kind of saw in DeKaiser's play just a few plays ago that was taken back, one of those players who can really get to the outside and do a lot of damage on the defense. Another shout-out to the McDaniel family for watching from South Fargo, and their dog named Deacon is also tuning in. So we got Deacons watching Deacons tonight here, as we get another family showing their support for Shanley TV. Always grateful to hear that. And Madden will hand this ball off to Johnny Gores, and Johnny Gores getting to the outside with that deadly speed, as he is taken down by 3 Grand Forks Central defenders. and will pick up the first down with ease for the Deacons.
That was a brilliant run right there by Johnny Gores. He ran behind even the line of scrimmage and then cut up field.
Yeah, he was going east and west for a little bit there, but he ended up going north and south and picking up a nice gain for the Deacon offense, as they will have it at Grand Forks Central's 39-yard line. 3 receivers to the left and to the right. Mattern by himself in the backfield. And my own brother, my own blood, Peter Simon, looking for a shout-out tonight. Thank you, Peter, for watching. As Mattern will throw it up, and that ball will be caught. So first and goal here. The catch made by, it appears, Johnny Gores. Johnny Gores just continue to make huge plays for the Deacons offense.
What a catch by Johnny
Unreal
Gores.
catch by Johnny Gores there. Great pass by Mattern, and even better effort by Gores to get up and snag that. And another shout out here for my family, for my Uncle Philip and my cousin Thomas Simon. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sure my dad's watching as well, but probably doesn't know how to reach out to Shanley TV. And that it will send Kochman in motion, but Mattern will fake the handoff and take it himself, and he will get it into the end zone for the 5th Deacon touchdown tonight. And Mattern, we see once again liking to fake the handoff and take it for himself as he just powers right through that big hole in the defensive line there. So the score now 34-0 in favor of the Deacons over the Grand Forks Central Knights. Emmett Kenny trying to extend the lead to 35. As there will be a stoppage in play here. And it looks like maybe calling for a false start here, as it will be a false start on the Deacons. So back it up a little bit for Kenny. Still shouldn't be too much of a chore for Emmett Kenny. So Emmett Kenny from a little farther out this time. And the kick is up, and that looks to be good. No challenge there for Emmett Kenny, as the score is now 35-0. The Deacons over the Knights.
That's an excellent drive by Shanley, an absolute tone setter for this game.
Yeah, just a few explosive big plays for the Deacons to prove that they're not taking their foot off the gas quite yet. So Emmett Kenny getting ready to kick it away here for, I believe, the 6th time tonight. Yeah, Emmett Kenny not really showing any signs of fatigue as he's continued to get those deep kickoffs, and as he backed up a little bit on the PAT, still no sweat for him whatsoever.
And for him, it seems like every kick is getting better and better.
I agree. It seems like as the night goes on and as he maybe gets even a little more practice, he just keeps looking better. So Grand Forks Central back to receive, if they get the chance to receive.
Everybody up for the kickoff.
And Kenny's kick is up. Got some good distance. Maybe not quite in the end zone. Just kidding. It will roll through the back of the end zone for another touchback. And another shout out here to Ashley Unchith. Sorry if I butchered that name. From Warroad, Minnesota. Another Minnesotan listening to this broadcast. Thank you for tuning in. So Grand Forks Central will set up shop at their own 20-yard line. Just over 11 minutes left in the third quarter. 3 receivers to the right. Lorenz will fake the handoff and looks to pass to Strandell. Strandell will come down with it and will maybe pick up the first down here. We'll see the ruling from the refs. And it appears to be a first down.
That was a good little quick comeback route to get the first down. Good read, good start.
Yeah, and we see Strandell kind of power through there using his big frame to get through some Deacon defenders and pick up those couple extra yards at the end of the play. So 1st and 10 now from their own 31. 3 receivers out to the right once again, and Strandell by himself on the left. As Lorenz will roll right, looking to pass. Got a couple options open, and that ball will be tipped and caught. That will be Strandell. Excuse me, Strandell was on the right side with the trio of receivers. He will come down with that once again. And another shout out to the Altringer family, the whole family, tuning in by the campfire tonight. Great little night, sounds like. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate this endless support that we are receiving tonight. So it'll be 1st and 10 from about the 45. Still not quite in Deacon territory. And a timeout will be taken by the Grand Forks Central Knights. So, Ben, so far this half, it kind of seems to be going the same way that we've seen the rest of the game. Just Shanley kind of getting that momentum, getting those big plays. And Grand Forks, right now it seems like they're putting together a nice little drive, but we'll see if they can maybe hopefully get some points out of it.
Well, Andy, the big plays have really been the story of the game today. And for Grand Forks, even on that last play, it was still a tough play to complete. It was tipped. Nice catch by Strandell, but great Deacon defense right there.
Yeah, both great Deacon defense and great awareness there by Strandell to keep tracking the ball even after it was tipped. Yeah, that has kind of been the theme for both this game and last game, is just big plays really on both sides of the ball, I guess you could say, as South had some big explosive plays. They had that kick return for the touchdown and just a couple other big runs. As Lorenz will hand this ball off, and a flag is thrown. We'll see what the foul is there, as I believe that was Herbeck running the ball. It will be a face mask on the Deacon defense. So a good sign for the Grand Forks offense to maybe get a little momentum after gaining those extra 15 yards on that play. And the Knights can definitely take every bit of yardage they can get. And with this momentum that they've had so far with the good passes to Strandell and the good run game, I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to tack on some points on this drive.
Yeah, this is a huge drive for them. They need to cash in on this.
And another shout out here to the Gallagher and Anderson families who are cheering for the Deacons from Detroit Lakes. Once again, some more Lakes areas, and another one from Kelly Biondi who's cheering on the Deacons. Great to hear. Once again, if anyone would like a shout out from Shanley TV, make sure to just tweet at us at Shanley TV on Twitter, and we will try to get you up here, as we have had many, many shout outs so far tonight. The night is still young. And it will be a false start on Grand Forks here, as it is now 1st and 15 from about the 44-yard line. Just under 9 minutes left here in the third quarter. Play clock winding down. 3 receivers to the left. And Lorenz will hand it off to Herbeck there. And Herbeck will get through the hole. And he will be brought down by, it looks like, Johnny Gores. But there we see another one of those nice little gains for 15, 20 yards by Herbeck there, as Herbeck and Risky have just been the dynamic duo tonight for the Knights offense.
Yeah, that was great north-south running there by Herbeck, trying to get to the outside. Barely tripped up, could have scored.
It's always good to see those very gritty players who don't try to go east and west and just try to power through forward as fast as they can, as hard as they can. And it will be 3 receivers to the left, as Lorenz will fake the handoff and keep it for himself. Trying to get to the outside corner a little bit, but he will be pushed out of bounds. And it appears that he will pick up the first down for the Knights. Ball will be placed at about the 24-yard line for the Knights here. So creeping on the red zone's front door here is the Knights, as they continued this trend of really pounding it forward once they get to about the 20-25-yard line. But it'll be interesting to see if they can capitalize on this opportunity, which they've kind of struggled with earlier in this game. 3 receivers to the right here, as Lorenz is joined by Herbeck in the backfield. He will fake the handoff to Herbeck, and he will look for Meyer. Meyer will try to get past a couple defenders, but will be swallowed up by the Deacons secondary.
Good read right there by Lorenz. A little
Yep.
bit of a window route there.
Yeah, excuse me, Meyer it'll be, who was just wide open right there, waiting for the ball. And he's another one of those kind of bigger players, 6'2", 185. And another shout out here to Randy and Pam Vadnais watching from Little Cormorant Lake. The Lakes area folks seem to be quite the pattern here tonight. Wouldn't be surprised there are a couple more watching, as this will be, I believe, Risky on the carry. Risky will pick up the first down for the Grand Forks Central offense.
Anderson on the stop for the Deacons.
And that may be inside the inside the goal, or it will be first and goal for the Knights here, as that ball will be placed on the 9-yard line.
This has been an excellent drive for the Knights, but this is, again, an area where they've struggled at this entire game.
This is kind of crunch time for the Knights here, as this is really where they have to prove their worth. As Lorenz will look to pass, a little behind, but it will be caught by Sam Strandell.
Lawrence's pass to Strandell is complete.
So a short little gain there of about 3 yards.
Another thing hurting the Knights is the clock.
Another shout out here from the Lakes area, Cole Lander and Julie Fredericks watching from Pelican Lake. Yet another Lakes area family watching. Thank you for your continued support of Shanley TV. Yeah, Cole Fredericks, talk about power running. Cole Fredericks was quite the force on the Shanley's offense 2 years ago, as he was another one of those runners who was just real gritty, just like to go north and south, try to pound through a couple defenders. As speaking of power running, Lorenz will hand it off to Joseph Risky. Risky a little shy of the goal line there. Brings it to about the 3 or 4 yard line. Brings up 3rd and goal for the Knights. Just over 5 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. So we see the Deacon sideline getting the money down up, as per tradition, when they're on defense on 3rd and goal. 3 receivers out to the left for the Knights, as Lorenz will fake the handoff and looks for Strandell, and he will connect for the touchdown on 3rd and goal. We finally see Lorenz and Strandell connecting for a touchdown here, as that's a nice route and a nice pass. Nice catch as well. All around nice play for the Knights.
Finally able to cash in. Good throw.
Yeah, that was
Even better
a much
catch.
needed score for the Knights here, as they just have not quite been able to cash in, as you said before that. And my brother Peter Simon tweeting at Shanley TV, as he says, my dad and my dog's way of getting a shout out is through my brother. So thank you to my dad and my very old dog for tuning into Shanley TV tonight. And another shout out, the Keller family watching from Lake Eunice, yet another Lakes family tuning in. Thank you for making Shanley TV a priority when you have many activities you're doing out there. And the Barsh family watching the Deacons play from Rockford, Minnesota. Thank you, another Minnesotan, for tuning in. And another shout out here to the Montgomerys on Big Cormorant tonight. Thank you for your support of Shanley TV. We greatly appreciate it. And just remember, anyone who'd like a shout out, just be sure to tweet us at Shanley TV on Twitter, and we will try to get you up there as soon as possible. And another little plug here, if you've enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcast, please consider making a donation to help us continue to bring you quality programming. We rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you are interested in donating, please contact Joelle Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that's Joelle Shuey at 701-893-3225. 3225. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your support of Shanley TV. So Grand Forks Central getting ready to kick off here. Only the 2nd time tonight that their kickoff team has been out on the field. Score once again 35-7 in favor of the Deacons, as this ball will be another low kick, as it will be returned by the Deacons. Maybe Carson Dean on the return there.
Carson Dean on the return.
It is Carson Dean, and he will take it out to the Deacons' own 35-yard line. 4 minutes and 45 seconds left in the third quarter.
It was a great return by Dean because he fielded a line drive kick, and those are tough to spot sometimes in the darkness. Great play.
Yeah, great job there by Dean to track that ball down and still stay focused on the task forward and just keep running ahead. And the Deacons will line up with 3 receivers out to the left and 2 to the right. Mattern alone in the backfield. Mattern will look to pass. He rolls out to his right, checks over his options, and he will look for Carter Kochman, and Kochman will make the catch on the sideline, juke 2 players out, stay on his feet, and keep trucking forward. He is pursued, but he gets past the defenders and all the way to the end zone. Carter Kochman just keeps making explosive plays tonight.
Wow, that was an amazing play. He put the little stop, hesitation, and then he took it to the house.
Yeah, Carter Kochman with the little double hezzy there as he is able to get past the defenders and stay on his feet and outrun some of those secondary defensemen in Grand Forks' defense. Emmett Kenny trying to extend the lead here. And Kenny's PAT, it is a fire call for the Deacons as Mattern will look to run it himself, and he will gain the 2-point conversion. Great heads-up football there by both Mattern and Kenny to blow that play dead.
Yeah, great job by Cooper with the awareness to get the ball off the ground and then take it to the corner.
Yeah, there we see Mattern once again not shying away from taking the ball himself and just trying to pound it through. So the Deacon offense continuing to have this momentum, just keeping their gas on the pedal this whole half so far. Keeping their foot on the gas pedal, rather, excuse me. So Kenny getting ready to kick once again. Very common theme tonight. See if he can get another touchback. Give the kickoff squad a bit of a break and get good positioning for the Deacon defense.
If this kick does get fielded, though, watch out for number 51, Reese Rustad. He's going to be flying down there.
Reese Rustad, always a very prolific player for the Deacons. Always putting out the best effort. Always one of those grinders on the field. So Kenny getting ready to kick this one away. And if I had to place a bet, I'd say that Kenny would get a touchback here. We'll just have to wait and see. And Kenny's kick is up, and it looks like it's got some distance. And yes, it is another touchback for Emmett Kenny. Not giving the Grand Forks Central return any opportunity to take that back. So Grand Forks Central will set up shop at the 20-yard line here. Just under 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Score once again, Shanley Deacons 43 and the Grand Forks Central Knights 7. And the Knights will come out with 2 receivers on either side. And Lorenz is joined by Joseph Risky in the backfield. They will run the ball up the middle, but will be stopped right away by the Deacon defense.
It was a great stop by the Deacons. They've been out there for a while. They must be tired, but a great play.
And another shout out here to the Smith sisters for watching their favorite brother, Jed, all the way from Wilmington, North Carolina. Jed Smith, another one of those players who decided to return after taking a year off. Always glad to see more bodies on the Deacons football team. So it will be 2nd and 7 here for the Grand Forks Central Knights from their own 23-yard line. 3 receivers to the right. Lorenz will look to pass, and he will look for Meyer, and he will connect. Meyer taking the ball to about the 30-yard line. May pick up the first down here, and it will be a first down for the Grand Forks Central Knights.
That was a good play by Grand Forks, but Meyer took a big hit at the end of that play.
And a shout out here to the Lang brothers' Aunt Mary, loving this game from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Thank you for tuning in. Wyoming, first time we've heard that one tonight. Glad to hear the continued support of the Shanley athletic program throughout the country. So it'll be 1st and 10. Lorenz will hand it off to Joseph Risky. Risky with a gain of about 1, maybe 2 yards on that play. Just over 2 minutes left in this third quarter here. And it will be 2nd and 9 for the Knights here from their own 32-yard line. Two receivers on either side. Lorenz will fake the handoff and looks to pass. He will connect with Alex Schill. Schill trying to get to the outside, but he will be met right away by Carter Kochman. Carter Kochman once again staying strong on the defensive side as well as the offensive side. It will be 3rd and 4 from the 37-yard line of the Knights. See if they elect to pass here. Shanley with the money down on the sideline. Two receivers on each side for the Knights. Lorenz will look to pass. Pocket's collapsing. He runs out to the right and just tries to make a last-ditch effort to dump it off. And there will be a flag on the play as the ref held on to it for a second. And we'll see the official ruling from the refs here. Lorenz trying to make his case against it being intentional grounding. And they will still call intentional grounding on Ty Lorenz on the offense. So on top of the 4th down, they will be taken back a little bit. So it will be 4th and 11 on this play. Shout out to my grandpa, Ray Simon, tuning in from the peaceful North Fargo. Thank you, Grandpa, for your support of Shanley TV. So a minute left here in the third quarter. Grand Forks Central getting ready to punt here. And Dean is back to return once again. Bounces in front of him, and he will let this one go and be down by the Grand Forks Central punt team. And that will be at about the 31-yard line for the Deacons. Just 43 seconds left in this third quarter. Shanley leading Grand Forks Central 43-7.
And we're at the point in the game where you could see some new names out there on the field.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of talent pretty much in each grade for Shanley here. So that would be a very high possibility of some new younger players rolling in. And Mattern will give the jet sweep to Aiden Devine. Devine out to the left, trying to get to the outside. And he will get a nice gain there, getting through some defenders. Maybe just a little shy of the first down there.
Good, hard north-south running right there by Devine, getting the juke to the outside and getting the first down.
Yeah, that will be the first down for the Deacons from roughly the 43-yard line. Still not quite in Grand Forks territory. And it looks like time will run out unless Mattern will get the playoff here. And it looks like he will. He will fake the handoff to Kochman and looks to give it out to Johnny Gores. Johnny Gores trying to get to the outside, getting past a couple. Stays on the field and will be taken down by 4 defenders. And Johnny Gores doing a great job of staying in bounds there and kind of turning away. Flag is on the play. We'll see what the call is here. It will be a holding on the Deacons offense. So that nice little play there by Johnny Gores will be taken back as we head into the fourth quarter here. Shanley Deacons with the 4s up as per tradition. Yeah, like you were saying earlier, I wouldn't be shocked if we did get a lot more younger players rolling in here at the start of this fourth quarter as Shanley with a nice, comfortable lead.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see who they roll in. Will they roll in a Jeremy Ajao or a Nate Johnson?
Another shout out here to Shanley teacher Amanda Miller. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Always happy to hear our teachers tuning into these. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, it will be interesting to see who they roll in. One name that we were bringing up, Michael Rosberg, the sophomore, who is a very athletic, talented player, does a great job at quarterback. It'll be interesting to see if he'll get some snaps tonight.
Yeah, big Mike Rosberg. I think last year was his first year playing quarterback, and he's developed into a pretty good player.
Yeah, not to draw too many parallels here, but I also know that Tom Brady didn't start playing quarterback until freshman year. He didn't start playing football until freshman year, actually, altogether. So maybe a little pattern there between Tom Brady and Mike Rosberg there. We'll just have to see how his career plays out. So the Deacons will start off with 3 receivers to the left. Mattern will look to pass. He'll try to get Braden Kaiser. They will connect. DeKaiser gets through a couple defenders, and he will be brought down by 2 defenders on 1st and 18 there. Nice little pickup, much needed by the Deacons. And Braden DeKaiser is another one of those really reliable players. You don't see him pop up quite as much as names like Carter Copeland or Johnny Gores, but he's always a nice player to give a nice little dump-off pass to, and he'll almost assuredly get you some nice yardage.
Yeah, he's got nice hands and a big frame for catching big, deep balls.
Yeah, I got that nice big basketball frame as Aiden Devine will take this handoff in 2nd and 6 and will take it all the way to the house. Another huge play for the Deacons offense, as we just see that continued trend of Deacon running backs getting the ball and just powering their way through the defense.
Great hard-nosed running by Devine, finding the gap and then being able to juke out one guy, and he's off to the races.
Yeah, Aiden Devine, another one of those real gritty players who just who definitely does not stray away from contact and just runs as hard as he can, as forward as he can. And Emmett Kenny here trying to make it 44-7 with this PAT. The kick is up, and that looks to be good as well, as the score is now 50-7 in favor of the Deacons. Just over 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter here. Momentum definitely appears to still be in Shanley's favor here after that huge play by Aiden Devine.
Yeah, I expect both teams to start rolling in some of the reserves to get them some playing time.
Another shout out here to Lois Bradford and family from tuning in from Bay Area, California to watch their nephew and grandson, Damon Hopsadales. Great to hear that we're getting listeners from, or viewers from California. That's not one that pops up very often. But the continued trend of nationwide support of Shanley TV continues. Always happy to hear the unique places that people are watching Shanley TV from. So Emmett Kenny getting ready to kick here for, I've lost track of how many times Emmett Kenny has kicked tonight, with starting with the ball and all these touchdowns that Shanley just continues to score. It's easy to lose track.
But all I know is that every single kick has been a touchback.
I agree. Well, actually, the very first kick, I believe, was not a touchback because...
Oh, yeah, that was the indifference play, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that one was attempted to take back, but the rest have been touchbacks. Yeah. Still very impressive for Emmett Kenny tonight, as this one is up, has a lot of distance. And that one will land in the end zone and stay in the end zone for the touchback. So once again, the Grand Forks offense will start at their own 20-yard line. Just a little under 9 minutes here in the 4th quarter left.
Reese Rusted in the game.
Reese Rusted in the game. One of those players who we always love to see out there. Reese definitely has a great reputation among his senior class at Shanley. And Grand Forks Central will come out with 2 receivers on either side with a jet and a handoff to, I believe, that is Risky once again. Risky with a short gain there. Or excuse me, that is Herbeck. Tyler Herbeck on the carry. And a gain of about 3 there, as that will bring up 2nd and 7 for the Knights. And yeah, we are seeing a couple new players as we see Vuchiri Hakeem check into the game at corner over there. and a couple other underclassmen in the game as well.
Looks like Adam Leininger's out there playing middle linebacker.
Adam Line, ooh. And we see the pass for Strindell a little over his head. Yeah, Adam Leininger, one of those members of the freshman class and a part of those great summer baseball teams that my cousin has been a part of. Always great to hear the success that they always have year in and year out. So it'll be 3rd and 7 here for the Knights at their own 23-yard line. They will come out with 2 receivers on each side, and Lorenz will drop back, looks to pass, pocket collapsing, rolls to his left, looking for his options, and will just try to dump it off, and that will be picked off by the Deacons. A flag is thrown. I did not quite pick up who got the interception.
Great play by Jackson Paul on that
Jackson
interception.
Paul will get the interception, but there is a flag on the play.
Looked like a little desperation heave just to throw an incomplete pass by Lorenz there.
So we'll see what the call is on the field. Shout out to Pam Appel for tuning in tonight. Thank you for your support. Always happy to hear more Shanley families tuning in.
Personal foul on the Deacons.
And I did not quite catch the, I don't think they made a ruling yet. Ref's still discussing. So we'll see what they have to have shortly, they have to say shortly here. All standing around the 20-yard line. That will be, I believe, roughing the passer was called on the Deacon defense. So that interception by Jackson Paul will be taken back, and the possession will remain with the Knights. Just under 7 minutes here left in the 4th quarter. Shanley leading 50-7 over the Grand Forks Central Knights. And the Knights will come out with 3 receivers to the right. I believe that is, just a second, I believe that is Strandell, isolated once again on the left. And Lorenz will hand it off to Risky. And Risky will be stopped after 2 or 3 yards on that gain.
Hanson on the carry for the Knights.
Watch out for Patrick Blatchke on the edge there.
Patrick Blatchke, another one of those players who had a similar situation to Jed Smith, kind of taking a year off, but then coming back to it. As Lorenz will look to pass here. He will connect with, I believe that is Alex Schill. And Alex Schill looks just shy of the first down. Will bring up 3rd down for the Knights.
Awesome shoestring tackle there by Jackson Paul, getting him down short of the sticks.
Yeah, even though he won't get credit for that interception. Good to see Jackson Paul still in the game making plays for the defense. So 3rd and 1 here for the Knights on their own 44-yard line. As they will have 3 receivers out to the left. Lorenz will hand it off to, I believe that is Navy Oss. Just kidding. Jake Hansen on the carry. Jake Hansen will pick up the 1st down for the Knights. So it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 46 for the Knights. Just over 5 minutes left in this 4th quarter. The Knights trying to see if they can maybe add on a couple extra points for the end of the game. Game's technically not over yet. Can't quite say it's over until it's actually over, but as we see, a nice play there by the Deacon defense. I believe that was Sawyer Free coming in, able to disrupt the play as that pass was intended for Christian Litzinger.
Yeah, that was great defense by Sawyer Free, undercutting the route and almost coming up with that interception.
Yeah, it looked like he was about to come up with that interception for a second, but just couldn't quite hang on to it. Shout out to Gary and Renee Hedman from Ada, Minnesota. Some more Minnesota residents tuning in. Thank you for your support of Shanley TV. We greatly appreciate it. So Grand Forks will come out with 3 receivers to the right. Lorenz in the shotgun. He will hand it off to, that looks like Jake Hansen once again. Excuse me, I believe that is Sincere Haskins. And Haskins will be just shy of the first down for the Knights. Brings up third down. It will be 3rd and 1 for the Knights. Just over 4 minutes left in this fourth quarter. And yeah, we're kind of seeing Grand Forks Central again, kind of slowly pounding their way into Deacon territory, and they were finally able to capitalize on it last drive, so we'll see if they can tack on maybe one more touchdown for the end of the game. As this is Haskins taking the ball to the outside, and he will pick up the first down for the Knights. He will bring the ball to about the 38-yard line. 38-yard line.
Great running by Haskins. He's adding a little bit of speed to that backfield there.
Yeah, and Haskins is kind of taking on the earlier habits of Herbeck and, Risky, as he's able to power through a couple of those Deacon defenders and just stay on his feet and keep moving forward. The Knights here with 3 to the right once again, as Lorenz will hand it off. And it is fumbled. It is on the ground. It is appeared to be recovered by the Deacons. And it is recovered by the Deacons.
Great fumble recovery there by Leininger. Able to see it on the ground and dive on it.
There we see those young underclassmen, as Leininger, who's only a freshman, able to drop onto that ball and pick up another turnover for the Deacon defense. Just under 3 minutes left in the game here. Got the younger offense out on the field led by Big Mike. And the Deacons will line up with 2 receivers split out to the right. And Rosberg will be joined by 1 back in the backfield, as that is handed off to not quite sure who. We'll get the number in just a second. Leininger, once again. Leininger popping up late in this game. So now it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Deacons from their own 41-yard line. 2.5 minutes left in the game. Deacons with 2 right and 1 left. Rosberg joined again by Leininger in the backfield. Leininger will get it once again. And he will gain about 1 yard on that play. And it will bring up 3rd down for this Deacons offense. It will be 3rd and 5 for the Deacons here, as we hit 2 minutes left in the game. So the Deacons with 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and Rosberg joined by Leininger in the backfield. They will send a player in motion. They will give the jet sweep to, that is Joey Dukart. A flag on the play. A nice little gain there by Dukart. Appears that he's able to pick up the first down, but we will see what the ruling on the field is. It will be a hold on the Deacons offense. So that nice little run by Joey Dukart will be taken back. Under 1.5 minutes here left in the game. It's always good to just see late in the game some of these younger guys getting varsity experience. I know that was huge for me when I used to play back in my glory days, seeing some time on the field, just getting a glimpse of what it's like. And obviously a great situation for that, being up 50-7.
Yeah, it's every young kid's dream to be out there and play some varsity football, and it's good to see these kids stepping up in big moments.
Yeah, even if you're not scoring touchdowns, it's still nice just to touch the ball and try to run through the defense a little bit, see what you can do. So Rosberg here will just take it himself, and he finds a hole right up the middle. A nice gain there. Will still bring up 4th down for the Deacons, but Rosberg is able to take that to about the 46-yard line.
Interesting play. He just took it right up the gut, and there was no one there.
Yeah, a nice hole opened up by that young offensive line, able to give Mike Rosberg that kind of red carpet that we were talking about earlier, just able to gallop right through there. So just under 30 seconds left in the game. It is 4th and 2 for the Deacons. We'll probably just try to run one more play off here before the game is over. 5 seconds left on the play clock, as Rosberg will just take it himself once again. and is trying to fight, but will be taken down just shy. As it appears the time will run out, and that will be it. Your final here tonight, the Shanley Deacons with 50 and the Grand Forks Central Knights with 7. So a dominant performance here by the Shanley Deacons, always making explosive plays, just blowing that defense straight out of the water. And Ben, going forward, what do you think both teams are going to have to really look at to see more success or see any success at all in the future?
Well, for Shanley, they just got to keep doing what they're doing. They've been rolling these last few weeks, and they're playing some really good football. Now for Grand Forks, they just got to clean some things up in the red zone and then eliminate the turnovers. They've had a little bit of trouble with that today.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Grand Forks Central definitely has a lot of playmakers with Tyler Renz and Sam Strandell, and even those power runners that we were talking about earlier, like Jake Hansen, Joseph Risky. I mean, they definitely have some weapons on their offense, but like you said, they just need to figure out how to capitalize more when they're deeper in their opponent's territory. And, I mean, like you said, for the Deacons, all they got to do is keep the energy up, just keep having those huge plays that they have multiple of every game, and I could see both teams being very successful going forward in the future. But that will do it tonight for us at Shanley TV. Once again, I am Andy Simon, joined along with Benjamin Osley. Thank you all for tuning in. We greatly appreciate your support and your reaching out to us on Twitter. Please make sure to follow us on Twitter and always reach out when we are broadcasting. We look forward to future broadcasts in the future, and you can find the archived copy of this on YouTube and on our website after this game. We would like to sign off from Cichy Stadium tonight. Thank you for your support. We hope to see you again, and we love you all.